Yeah, documentaries have really become, for whatever reason, you used to never be able to see feature documentaries in the theater, and lately you have been. There's been everything from, the primetime 2020 crime of the week story to feature documentaries. It's really burgeoned. It's really become a big thing for people to watch documentary stuff. And I think part of that is people are a lot more interesting than characters most of the time.
Mine's more of a coming of age story. The hero learns how to become a man, but in space. Like
Star Wars, right.
When I was 23, I told myself that I wouldn't graduate until I made a feature. Well, if you want to get technical, I still haven't made a feature, only like 6 movies that are like 47 minutes long. But then again, if you want to get technical, since I'm still in school, I guess I haven't graduated yet.
Referring to the work of French filmmakers working mainly between 1958 and 1964. Film mise en scène is very important to German cinema and how it can be conveyed through costuming and lighting and things like that, right? When you take 2 different images and juxtapose them together, you create a meaning and association that otherwise might not be there. Images are processed separately. Does it make the director look bad? I mean, is a jump cut bad editing? No? Why not?
I'm shooting this Star Wars movie, and I got a bunch of scenes to do. Yeah, the script's online. It's a script that I've been trying to do for a couple years now. It's like a romantic dramedy.
Now for the cast and stuff, they're gonna be able to download the scripts because I'm not gonna print scripts for them. But for you guys, I'm sitting here thinking what's going to be the best way to disseminate this script because I obviously can't print 1, 2, 3, 4 copies.
Yeah, it's 210 now. The rest of it's printing because when I went downstairs to print, that's not the whole thing. That's only 136. There's still 80 pages left.
You could kill somebody with that. 3-2, 3-1, like that. Or are we gonna go?
Yeah, it's one movie. I mean, it's not really. It's broken up only structurally.
Okay, because
into episodes. It's not really 3 separate entities.
Okay.
Well, I want to get these guys 2 contracts done today. I have the contracts. So we can do those today.
Who's getting what?
I'd say the budget. Do I have to go downstairs and print the budget? Do you have a copy of that or no? Steve's going to be camera operator. I mean, credit-wise, he's going to be cinematographer, but I'm not using any term that Jeff might misunderstand. He's a camera operator. It's very clear that that's a crew service.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be assistant director. That's very clear that that's a crew service.
Great.
I got pens in here.
He's a teacher. He got brains.
Of the auditions, these are the only 2 people that really stood out, but it's pretty good odds considering the pit auditions were pretty dismal. We had like 1 person show up for I think Friday's audition, and then Tuesday's audition we had like 6 people show up.
Okay.
Or maybe 5. So.
You're a virgin? Forgive her, Father George. She knows not what she does.
Jackie, get back in here. Look, man, you gotta settle down.
Rick, pull the car over. Pull over. I feel sick.
Khaki, we're already a half day behind schedule.
Is he gonna hurl? He better not in my vehicle.
Oh, we can't drive to Pittsburgh with a virgin in the car. It'd be a great disturbance in the force.
But two people are strong possibilities. It's not like beer goggles. I mean, these are people that.
How many main characters do we have again?
5.
We have 5. Okay, well then that's good.
So those are the possibilities. You're a possibility for Khaki, but I want to see how Antonio reads, and if he can do it.
Hey, Antonio at Point Park, the photography guy.
Yeah, and then you wanted to audition too, right? But you gotta get to an audition. So you gonna come on Monday?
Well, you just told me about it, so.
I don't think we can use him. He's tall and he's white.
Yeah, that's good for one of them. He's a
But that's a perfect role for me.
Yeah, Rick's got to be tough. I mean,
Tough and cocky, right?
I want you to call 2 people from the Pitt casting and get them to attend the Point Park casting. One guy's name is Parag, and you're going to just have him tell him that we're considering him for the role of Pete. Michael Sparks. Michael, obviously, I'm pretty sure you know how to spell that. There's 5 main characters in this thing. Ollie Granger, Olley, Granger. Khaki Reese, Amy Dow, Pete Steppencloud, and Rick Hansen. These are the 5 main characters, and this is what the movie. That's the core of the movie. So the casting is all about finding the right people for that. If we can get the good actors for those roles, this movie will be great.
Alex invited me to the eyeball auditions. And that was interesting. I got to see the different people that he was thinking about for his movie. But then Daniel Vollmeyer walked in.
I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend.
All right, see ya.
Hey, nice to meet you. This is Greg.
How you doing?
Forbes Hall last year?
Hey, I'm
Nice
Dan.
to meet you.
Too.
Oh, really? All right. Because nobody really wants to be there for comedy. I mean, it's just a bar and people are kind of listening, getting drunk, and everyone just starts yelling, and they're yelling out, like, go back to New York and stuff. I'm like, yo, man, like, I'm trying to just keep it cool up here. And then I started making fun of a couple of guys because, you know, I'm there to entertain myself if they're going to start yelling at me. And I told the guy, is that a snap-on mullet or not? And this guy got up on stage and got right up in my face, and I was like, whoa, man, why don't you just calm it down? And I tried to handle it as best I could, but it was pretty intense right there. So the guy essentially calmed down eventually.
Immediately, I was struck by his charisma, his composure. He had that special something that people in the business talk about. I'm not really in the business, but he still had something to me that I thought would have made him a perfect Rick. I got his number, then I called him, but he never returned my calls. I called him 2 or 3 times over the course of like 2 or 3 weeks, but I never got a phone call back. I even ran into him and told him that I was interested in putting him in this movie, and he seemed interested, but he never called me back. Eventually, I just gave up.
The first tool you need to make a movie, ironically, is not a camera. The first piece of technology that you need, and it's probably even more important than the camera, is a telephone. I spend more time on the phone making movies than I do with the camera. I mean, I use the phone more than I do using the camera. And nowadays with the cell phone, it's actually made coordinating films a lot more dynamic than it has been in the past.
Well, we have to ask ourselves, at this level, in terms of image quality, we can put out there with shooting with a DVX 100 at 24p, getting a film look. We can get an image quality in today's day and age that is competitive. And this particular camera that we have access to has an ability to produce an image that the average viewer will find not only acceptable but capable of presenting beautiful images. So that's the first thing that is a potential liability when you're making a movie. The second thing is the acting
quality. That really is probably going to be our biggest X factor, is how good are the performances of these people in this movie going to be.
This one girl, she calls me up and she says, Alan, men are slime.
I want to save you. I want to make you see that there's some value in life.
Kapow! Kapow!
You led me on. You led me on.
Listen, I don't say that because I think it's true.
You don't fight. You don't ever listen. I moved here. I married you. But he was still always there.
But that's what everybody says. You ask one girl who's known me for more than just 1 week.
And then silence. Silence and sickness.
So now we're here at Point Park, and we've had some good people, I think. Some good switch ups. Mike Dixon, I had him play Khaki. First I had Antonio play Khaki. I mean, Antonio is Khaki.
One gigabyte of memory in it. I'm a country dude. I spent half my life in the woods. Please insert the 2.millimeter magazine with the bullets, each one separately painted.
Now, if we could just get you to act like Khaki.
But Antonio isn't necessarily an actor, but who he is in his persona, he is Khaki. If he could bring that to the screen, he would be Khaki. The problem is, Antonio isn't necessarily an actor, so I'm not sure whether or not he could do that with the camera on. If he could do that with the camera on, he'd be Khaki right now.
Duh! For crying out loud, Khaki, I think I'm deaf now. No, you'd be deaf because I cried out loud. I don't know if this guy is me.
He's basically just like that.
He's me. I don't know, am I?
All right, man.
All right, man. See you later.
All right, see ya.
Be glad to help out.
Thanks.
Mike, on the other hand, is a great actor, but I want the cast to be as diverse as possible. Mike is white. Antonio is from Honduras. He's bringing the diversity to it. That's what I'd rather have. But Mike's performance as Khaki, he plays him kind of as a stoner. He's all like, I find your lack of faith disturbing.
And then, boom! He slashes the dude's throat, man.
That is a very, very interesting performance. I thought he did a great job. He was funny. He's got the right instincts. So, before my eyes, I'm here at Point Park thinking this may end up going from being a movie about an Asian, a black guy, a Native American, a Latino, and a Caucasian to being like all about Caucasians, and that's not necessarily what I want. I'm even thinking about changing Ollie from being a black guy to a Jewish guy.
He had me read as just, filler. And he liked the way I read, I guess. And he said, I could really see you playing Ollie. And I said, are you sure? I mean, I'd like to do it, but Ollie originally was supposed to be black, and which I'm not. And he said, yeah, but I could see you definitely playing Ollie. I could see you playing the part. I think it would work. And I said, well, I'd be happy to do it. And this is how actually Harrison Ford got cast as Han Solo. Was he would just read for the parts, and George Lucas was like, aha, I like him. So that's how I got involved.
Frank has such a great performance.
No, he doesn't. Lucas would never allow that kind of language in his movies. It might offend younger audiences. Sure, Ben Kenobi says in Star Wars, but Yoda would never say.
But I'm not sure. It's Monday. December 6th, and we have a production meeting Saturday. Nobody's cast. Nobody has the role yet, and I don't want to push anything back. I want to make this happen, but I'm starting to think, is this going to happen? I'm starting to have those thoughts of how's it all going to come together. Now, obviously, I believe it is. I haven't come this far and haven't made the movies I've made up to this point to really doubt. But as of right now, I have no idea how it's going to come together. So this is going to be an interesting week in terms of casting. So I'm going to call Daisy, and hopefully some things can happen. Hopefully Rick can really emerge. I felt like Chris did a good job of Rick. I felt like he has his character, but I'm not sure about his look. I asked him about his hair, because I know that his hairstyle just wouldn't be for Rick. His hairstyle might be better for an Ollie, because it was very reminiscent of Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. And but but not for a Rick. So there's a couple people that might be able to do it, but we'll have to see.